If you're a man over 60, there's a small gland in your body, no bigger than a walnut, that could quietly decide how you sleep, how you feel, and even how long you live. And here's the scary part most men don't think about it until something goes wrong. By then, it's often late. Not too late, but late enough that you wish someone had warned you sooner. I'm talking about your prostate. Now, I know, you've probably heard the word 100 times. Maybe your doctor mentioned it during a checkup. Maybe you've seen it in a pamphlet in the waiting room. But let me tell you, as a urologist with over 35 years of treating men just like you, this is not just another part of your body. When it's healthy, you barely notice it's there. When it's not, every part of your life can. Changed out sleep, interrupted. Bathroom trips, constant. Confidence, shaken. Intimacy, different. Sometimes gone. And here's what keeps me up at night as a doctor. Most of the damage I see didn't come from some rare disease. It came from small, everyday habits, the kind you'd never think twice about. Habits you've had for years, maybe decades. I've seen men who thought they were fine suddenly land in there, unable to urinate, in pain they couldn't describe. I've seen couples drift apart because the physical side of their relationship changed, and no one knew how to talk about it. I've seen strong, independent men lose their energy, their patience, and their peace of mind, all because of a neglected prostate. And here's the truth. It doesn't have to be this way. In this video, I'm going to share 5 simple, science-backed tips that can help keep your prostate healthy well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. No expensive supplements, no complicated routines, just practical habits you can start today. The kind that fit into your life without turning it upside down. But I'll warn you, some of what I'm about to share will go against what you've been told for years. It might surprise you. It might even make you rethink a few healthy habits you have right now. Stick with me until the end, because the last tip is the one most men ignore, and it's the one that could save you from the most dangerous, painful, and life-changing prostate problems of all. So, let's start. Oh, and if this is your first time here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell. Every week, I share health advice made specifically for men over 60, short, clear, and something you can put into action right away, because sometimes one small tip at the right time can change your health and your life, and I don't want you to miss it. Before we dive in, let me start with something simple and surprising. It's not a pill, it's not a fancy treatment, it's water, but the way you drink it after 60 can either help your prostate or quietly make things worse. Tip number 1, stay hydrated, but time it right. If you're a man over 60, you've probably heard this advice 1,000 times. Drink plenty of water. But here's what no one tells you. Drinking water at the wrong time can quietly make your prostate problems worse, disrupt your sleep, and even affect your heart. Let me explain. Most men think more water is always better, and in one sense, yes, your body needs it. Water helps flush your bladder, reduce irritation, and keep your prostate tissues healthy. But after 60, your body doesn't handle fluids the same way it used to. Your kidneys work slower, your bladder holds less, and your sleep, well, you already know it's not as deep as it once was. Now, here's the hidden problem. If you drink most of your water late in the day, especially after dinner, you're setting yourself up for multiple trips to the bathroom at night. That constant getting up doesn't just interrupt your rest. It puts extra pressure on your bladder and prostate, and it can even raise your nighttime blood pressure over months and years. This pattern can make urinary symptoms worse, not better. Let me tell you about my patient, George, 67 years old, retired teacher. George was proud of his healthy habits. He drank a big glass of water every night before bed, thinking it would keep things clean. But instead, he was waking up 3, 4, sometimes 5 times to urinate. He thought it was just age. When we shifted most of his water intake to earlier in the day and cut back after 7 p.m., something amazing happened. His nighttime trips dropped to just once. His sleep improved. His mood improved. And over the next 3 months, even his PSA levels showed positive changes. So here's what I recommend. Drink plenty of water, but get 70 to 80% of it before late afternoon. After 7 p.m., just sip if you're thirsty, not full glasses. Spread your water evenly throughout the morning and midday instead of gulping huge amounts at once. Pay attention to your urine color. Pale yellow means you're hydrated. Dark yellow means you need more water. And here's something most men don't realize. The timing of hydration can also affect your digestion, your medication absorption, and even your blood sugar stability. If you've got heart issues, high blood pressure, or you're on diuretics, the wrong timing could tip the balance in the wrong direction. So yes, stay hydrated, but time it right. Because when it comes to your prostate, it's not just what you drink, it's when you drink it that makes the difference. Now, we've talked about water, but hydration is only one piece of the puzzle. In the next tip, I'll reveal a simple change in your diet that can lower inflammation in your prostate, protect your heart, and even improve your energy, and it's something you can add to your plate today. Tip number 2, choose anti-inflammatory foods. If there's one thing I wish more men over 60 understood, it's this: inflammation is like a slow-burning fire inside your body, and your prostate is one of its favorite targets. Now, you might be thinking, I don't eat junk food, so I'm fine. But here's the truth. Some foods that look healthy can still quietly fuel inflammation. And over time, that silent inflammation makes your prostate swell, stiffen, and more sensitive to pressure. Think about it. If your finger was swollen, you'd notice it and try to rest it. But when it's your prostate, you can't see it. You can't touch it. You only notice the symptoms: more trips to the bathroom, weaker flow, discomfort during the night. And by then, the inflammation has already been building for months or even years. One of my patients, James, age 72, thought he was doing everything right. He stayed away from fast food, avoided sugary sodas, and made his own meals. But his lunches were loaded with processed deli meats, white bread, and cheese slices, foods high in saturated fats and preservatives. He had no idea that these were spiking his body's inflammatory markers and making his prostate symptoms worse. We switched his meals to include fresh tomatoes, leafy greens, fatty fish like salmon, and berries a few times a week. Within 3 months, his nighttime bathroom visits dropped from 4 times to twice, and his morning urgency improved dramatically. So here's what I recommend. Eat more natural anti-inflammatory foods. Cooked tomatoes rich in lycopene, fatty fish like salmon or sardines, omega-3, berries, leafy greens, and nuts. Spice it smart. Turmeric and ginger aren't just for flavor. They fight inflammation at the cellular level. Limit processed meats, fried foods, refined carbs, and excess sugar. These feed the inflammation that makes prostate issues worse. Cook it gently. Steaming, baking, or light sauteing preserves nutrients better than deep frying or charring meat. And remember, anti-inflammatory eating doesn't just help your prostate. It supports your heart, lowers your risk of diabetes, and can even keep your brain sharper. The foods that calm inflammation in your prostate also protect the rest of your body. I know changing your diet can feel overwhelming, but you don't have to overhaul everything at once. Start small. Swap one processed meal for a fresh one. Replace sugary desserts with a handful of berries. Add a serving of salmon once a week. Little steps add up. Your prostate will thank you. We've covered hydration and diet, but there's another factor that can make or break your prostate health. And it has nothing to do with food or drink. It's about how you move, or don't move. In the next tip, I'll show you how simple movement can keep blood flowing to your prostate and reduce your risk of long-term problems. And the best part, you won't need a gym membership to do it. Tip number 3, keep the blood flow moving. If there's one silent enemy your prostate hates, it's this: sitting still for hours and letting blood pool in your pelvis. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Doc, I walk to the kitchen, I do chores. I'm not sitting all day. But here's the reality. For many men over 60, long periods of sitting, watching TV, driving, reading, add up to more hours than you realize. And when blood flow to your pelvic area slows down, your prostate gets less oxygen, fewer nutrients, and more pressure from fluid buildup. It's like a river turning into a swamp. When water stops moving, problems start growing. And in your body, that swamp can mean inflammation, swelling, and more frequent bathroom trips. Let me tell you about Robert. 65 years old, retired taxi driver. Robert came to me complaining of constant pressure down there and waking up 4 times a night to urinate. His tests were fine. No infection, no alarming PSA rise, but his blood circulation to the pelvic region was sluggish. We made one simple change. Every 45 minutes during the day, he would stand up, walk for 2 minutes, and do a gentle stretch. Within 6 weeks, his nighttime trips dropped by half, and the discomfort he'd had for years began to fade. Here's why movement matters. Your prostate is surrounded by tiny blood vessels. Those vessels deliver oxygen and carry away waste. If you sit for hours, those vessels are compressed and blood stagnates over time. This can trigger inflammation and reduce your prostate's ability to heal or maintain healthy function. What you can do: walk daily, aim for at least 30 minutes in total, broken into shorter walks if needed. Stand and move every 45 to 60 minutes. Even a short trip to refill your water helps. Gentle stretches like hip openers, pelvic tilts, or light yoga can relieve pelvic tension. Low-impact activities, swimming, cycling with a cushion seat, or tai chi can improve circulation without stressing joints. And don't forget, too much high-impact activity all at once can backfire. Long runs or heavy lifting without proper form can put extra pressure on your pelvic floor. So build up gradually and listen to your body. I've seen time and time again how a simple movement habit can turn things around. You don't need to join a gym or run marathons. You just need to keep your blood and your life moving. We've covered hydration, diet, and movement. But there's another everyday habit that can undo all your progress, and most men don't even realize it's irritating their bladder and prostate every single day. In the next tip, I'll reveal the common drinks and foods that can quietly make your symptoms worse, and how to enjoy life without giving them up completely. Tip number 4, limit bladder irritants if you've been dealing with prostate issues. Here's something you might not realize. Some of the drinks and foods you enjoy every day could be quietly making your symptoms worse. Now, I'm not talking about rare or exotic things. I'm talking about the coffee you sip every morning, the glass of wine after dinner, the spicy meal you treat yourself to on weekends. Sounds harmless, right? But for a bladder and prostate that's already more sensitive after 60, these are like poking a sore spot over and over again. Here's why. Caffeine, whether from coffee, tea, or soda, stimulates your bladder muscles. That might be fine at 30, but at 65 it can mean urgency, frequency, and waking up more often at night. Alcohol. It's a double trouble. It irritates the bladder lining and acts as a diuretic, making you produce more urine. Spicy foods, they can trigger the same nerves that make your bladder feel like it needs to empty, even when it doesn't. Let me share a story. Albert, 70, came to me frustrated. He was up 3 or 4 times every night, sometimes barely making it to the bathroom. He thought it was just his prostate getting worse. But when we looked closely, he was drinking 2 mugs of strong coffee in the morning, sweet iced tea with lunch, and a couple of glasses of red wine with dinner every single day. We made a few swaps: half-cup coffee in the morning, herbal tea in the afternoon, and limiting wine to weekends. Within a month, his nighttime trips dropped to once, and his urgency during the day improved so much he could run errands without constantly scouting for a bathroom. Here's what I recommend. Limit caffeine to 1 small cup in the morning, or switch to half-CAF. Choose herbal teas like chamomile or peppermint in the afternoon and evening. If you drink alcohol, keep it to special occasions or 1 to 2 servings a week. Go easy on spicy foods if you notice they trigger symptoms. Stay hydrated with plain water earlier in the day to avoid dehydration. That can also irritate the bladder. Remember, you don't have to give these things up completely. The key is awareness and moderation. Small adjustments can make a big difference in how your bladder and your nights feel. We've covered hydration, diet, movement, and now limiting bladder irritants. But there's one more tip I need to share, and it's the one that can literally save lives. In the next and final tip, we'll talk about the single most important step every man over 60 should take to protect his prostate and catch problems before they become irreversible. Tip number 5. Get regular prostate checkups. If there's one thing I wish every man over 60 understood, it's this: the worst prostate problems don't always start with pain, but they can end with it. Too many men wait until they can't urinate, until they're waking up all night, or until the pain becomes unbearable before they see a doctor. And by then, the options are fewer, the treatments are tougher, and the road back is longer, sometimes impossible. I've been a urologist for over 35 years. And I can tell you this: early detection can be the difference between a quick, simple fix and a life-changing diagnosis. A prostate checkup isn't just about looking for cancer, though that's important. It's also about catching benign prostatic hyperplasia (BPH) before it gets severe, finding inflammation before it causes damage, and making sure your urinary and sexual function stay as strong as possible. Let me share 2 stories. Henry, 74, came in for his annual checkup with no symptoms at all. His PSA had risen slightly. So we did a few more tests. We caught a very small, early-stage cancer. It was treated quickly, with minimal side effects. Today, Henry is cancer-free and still enjoying golf twice a week. Now compare that to Tom, 69. Tom ignored his symptoms for over a year. Weak flow, waking up 5 to 6 times at night, occasional burning. By the time he came in, his prostate cancer had already spread. His treatment was far more aggressive, and while he's alive, his quality of life is forever changed. Here's what I recommend. Get a prostate checkup at least once a year after age 60. This should include a PSA blood test and a digital rectal exam. If you have a family history of prostate cancer, start earlier, around 50 or even 45. Don't ignore symptoms like weak stream, urgency, blood in urine, or pelvic discomfort. These warrant an immediate visit. I know some men avoid these exams out of embarrassment, but trust me, I've done thousands of them. For me, it's about protecting your health, not judging you. A few minutes of mild discomfort can save you years of pain, or even save your life. So, we've covered 5 tips. Hydrate smart, eat anti-inflammatory foods, keep moving, limit bladder irritants, and get regular checkups. The truth is, your prostate health after 60 isn't just about avoiding disease. It's about protecting your independence, your confidence, and the life you want to keep living. In the final part of this video, I'm going to tie all of this together and share a simple, motivating way to start applying these tips today. No matter your age or current health, you don't want to miss it. So, we've talked about 5 simple but powerful habits: hydrating smart, eating anti-inflammatory foods, keeping your blood moving, limiting bladder irritants, and getting those regular check-ups. Individually, they might seem small, but together, they can transform how you feel, how to move, and how you live. I want you to remember this. Prostate health isn't just about avoiding disease. It's about protecting your confidence, your independence, and the life you want to keep enjoying. Maybe you've been putting this off. Maybe you've told yourself it's just part of getting older. But here's the truth. Age doesn't have to mean decline. Every day you take one small step, a glass of water at the right time, a better meal, a short walk, a mindful choice, you're giving your body a better chance to serve you well, and you don't have to do it all at once. Start with one habit from today's video, stick with it, then add another. Over time, you'll be amazed at the difference. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s take these steps and get back their energy, their sleep, and their joy. And I want that for you to die. If something I shared today helped you, let me know. In the comments, type a 1 so I know you're with me, or share which tip you'll start using first. Your story might inspire another man to take action, and if you found value here, consider subscribing, sharing this video with a friend, or just keeping the conversation going. The more we talk about men's health, the stronger we all become. You've made it this far in life. You've got wisdom, resilience, and grit. Now give your body the care it deserves, so it can carry you through the years ahead. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years.